All right. I'm gonna pop this out and bring it over here and mute it. Let me just hear my voice once on the YouTube live. All right, so I muted that. That's good. All right, great. So welcome, King Don. I said hello to you earlier, but now I'm recording. Everything looks good. Let me look at my punch list right here. I don't really have too much that like laid out, but I do want to cover a couple things. I don't know what that means in real time. Let me minimize this right here so it doesn't glare. All right, I am recording. My microphone's good. My video, the chat, because I got like a little punch list because I made a mistake last. So now I'm gonna try to use stuff in the search. Got it. That's it. All right. I'm gonna share screen. King, if you wanna, ask anything or mention anything, otherwise I'm just gonna go over a couple things.
Got it. Okay.
All right, and then yeah, I just want to go over because what happened was last meeting. I'll show you right now. I'm gonna share screen. Right here. The video thumbnails are minimized to optimize full screen video clip screen share. What? The video thumbnails are minimized to optimize full screen video clip. Let me just check this right here. No, it's good. It looks good to me. All right. So what I want to go over right here is, let me just take it out of the screen for a second. Violation strikes. If I click on it, all right, I'm only going to share a portion of this screen. All right, I'm going to share only a portion of the screen. Share advanced portion of the screen. All right, so I got this here. I mean, it's really should be private. Oh, okay, all right. So I shouldn't have shared that. Forget about it. I'm not even going to share that. I'm going to end this. Stop share. Basically, I just want to say that I got somebody put a strike on the last video, the last meeting, and then the meeting before that. It's like I went through the video, the one 2 weeks ago, if you remember, that's when we first talked. That was, remember I told you I didn't even record. That's why I made this little punch list. I want to make sure I would record, but it was still on YouTube, but it was copyright stricken by someone. I went through the video. It wasn't even like Benjamin Netanyahu or anybody. Like, it was somebody that we all know, but I haven't even addressed it yet, so I'm going to send him a response. And so basically, I just thought I'd share that. And it's basically the two videos, so nobody could watch them. I believe no one could watch them. I haven't even put them on the private group or anything, but I'll be doing that. I don't know if I'm going to get much work done this week at all because I have a roof job to do, and now I'm busy season. This is my month, and we're leaving. I'm going to make a note here of even talking about. Let me start sharing screen here, full screen, and then we could. Where's my mouse? Share screen. No, basic full screen. Optimize for video clips. Share. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to Firefox. Let me minimize this right here. Okay, that's not it. I'll have another one. Okay, I got that. Minimize that. Okay, it took me a little while to get going, but now we are. Now I want to go. So I went over that. What did I have? I'll go maybe, no, I can't go to that page right there, but I had a couple of things. Sunday meeting. Oh, yeah, let me go through my YouTube channel a little bit quick, just in case anybody missed it. I'm going right here. What's this here? I don't need to see this anymore. Channel, okay. Now, I'm gonna X this out right now. Oops. I might go to that page right there, but so like I was mentioning to you, King Don, that I made this video here this is pretty thorough. If you see that thumbnail right there, it's basically all the products that I use to detoxify from heavy metals, and they are great for like chemtrails. But so some of the items there are easy to use, but some of them require supervision, like the psyllium husk, the bentonite clay for internal use. I've spent 10 years figuring all this stuff out. I'm a master detoxifier, and I pretty much I weighed myself the other day. I'm very like vibrant, and I should say I have my endurance and my vigor, and I found out that I lost weight because I switched my diet again. I'm on like a human guinea pig, but anyway, it's 38 minutes long. There's no part 2 on that. This is us doing live here. This was like 2 weeks ago. There should be 2 other videos here, for the meetings, maybe all videos. Let me see. And then that's it. I guess the Zoom is similar to this. If I wanted to see about using Chrome and see if it's faster with the Zoom, but no, it's a slow. It's the same thing. So I'm not even going to go there.
I wonder why it's slow like that.
It's slow, but you know what? With the Google meetings, it's not slow with the Google meetings. That's why I'm real excited about it. I haven't. All I did was like 3-4 test videos, and it's lightning. And they do have like Google and Zoom. They have this like some kind of a connector to make it more seamless. I just haven't done it yet. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see if that might help at all. Like they have some kind of I forgot the word right now, like a plugin, exactly what it's called. It's called a Google YouTube plugin for Zoom, but I'm going to research that when I can. But now I'm so busy, but now let me see where I'm going to start with this here. So I went over that. Let me see any other, there's nothing that I mean, this bail bonds thing, this is only part 1. The part 2 is for our private group, which you probably might have caught in the private playlist. Yeah, well, I'll do it right now. Manage videos. So it just takes a few seconds. Look, that's too long. Let me see if I do this. Let me see if I go to Chrome, if it's faster. So I'm here. Let me go to just YouTube. Same thing. YouTube.com, would you please? It's the Zoom that slows everything down. So I just gonna have to kind of like keep it flowing, and then I've done it last time, but let me get some coffee. Maybe it'll sharpen me up. All right, I'm going back to Firefox. All right, let me focus on what I was. So the playlists right here. Yeah, well, let me get back to that. I got a copyright strike. Like, it's like I have documents from at least 7 different groups. So somebody's got an issue with me, holding Zoom where I'm doing it. If you look at the description, it's like I'm doing this. All it is an open discussion group. Somebody has a problem with that. To me, I'm going to read through it. I'm sure it was maybe just like a constructive criticism on this person's part. So I'm just gonna, respond and address him. The person has helped me out, so I'm not about to interested in stepping on anybody's toes. But right here, this is a private playlist. Like I have to add your email. This is just some. Okay, this one I'm gonna start. Everything with number 56 is gonna be health and wellness. As I'm doing it, because now this is for defense. defense when you're going into winter. You know, everybody has their different health issues, if they even have any at all. Some people, you know, have good genes, good genetics, and they're, you know, they basically don't get sick. But if America is like that's very rare for people, you know, for individuals not to have any either, you know, Lyme's disease, candida, cancer, all this stuff. I'm gonna go thorough as much as I can on YouTube. And whenever somebody, let's say, you know, they take down a video, I'm gonna make it private. Certain things I don't want them to be public, but I'm gonna do numerous videos. And then when 2022 comes around, I'm gonna do a big detox, like a group detox thing, because that's when you want to do it. You want to start. That's why we have the New Year's resolution. So the New Year's resolution, and then but if you, the reason I started doing these is if anybody wants to do the research and then investigate all the products that I mentioned, because, you know, don't take my word for it. And then that's that. So not to be too long-winded about it, you know, I didn't make chapters or anything for each of the components that I use there, but I'm definitely going to make another video on MMS, 35% white vinegar and 32% white vinegar, 35% hydrogen peroxide, how you put it in a vapor, you know, in a diffuser. And it pretty much it bleached my hair. I believe that caused it. Because I was just defogging. I was fogging it into the house, but, you know, not concentrated 35%. I would add water, but that kills spiders, kills everything. It puts you into a detox. And if anybody's interested, and that's why I'm making it separate. So if you're not interested in health, like in wellness type videos, just bypass those uploads. Done. This is that private playlist. This is everything pertaining to the. I'm basically, I'm not getting much work done because I'm in survival mode. I always do this every year, but we're working on something really big. So let me just, this is done. I'm not going to go through any more videos here, you know, because I've already went through them. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to see what else was the other one. SM means Sunday meeting, status correction. Oh, okay. I've already mentioned this, but this is a website. Let me go to the main right here. Let me start at this is an interesting website. This is a Patrick Devine website. And it says freemium, and then it says premium area here. So, you know, this is what you should bookmark this. Let me see if I have a bookmark. Of course I do. Right here, we the people shareholders. So I do have a bookmark. Let me go back here. And then it says free, but then if you go to premium, it's free too. So you just click on that. And you see everything here. And if you open this in a new tab, you know, I'll wait for that to load. This I don't need. It's Patrick Devine right there. Okay, I should have kept that open. All right. So if you go here, look, it has all the documents, everything pretty much what's on certain drives that are out there. This is part one. Let's go to part two. Businesses and trusts. You know, I don't know how in depth it is, but I believe it's everything that's on the, you know, that I'm not even going to talk about because somebody has a problem with me mentioning that I'm basically, you know, if I'm part of a group and I want to interact with the group, I should be allowed as a human being to, you know, to reach out to somebody, a member of a group that I'm a part of. So if I, you know, it's like, I don't really understand, you know, I'm trying to get what's going on over here, but and then, you know, like, all right, an email, like, hey, you know, I'm not too crazy about this, you know what I mean? But you know, I guess to go, I answer most all my emails. So anyway, so this is an interesting Patrick Devine site, just in case you want to get access to stuff. It's existing. So, you know, member sign up. I'm pretty sure I'm a member here. Profile.
Yeah, I know about it. There's a lot of they have a lot of stuff on there, but there's some documents that are not on there.
That are not on here. You've been so we have, I guess those documents we have on the drive. Got it. All right. So that's that. And now,
Yeah, I have everything you need. I have every document.
yeah. And then you download them, right? You basically you have them locally. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, I have them. I have them on the drive.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I mean, whatever you need. I mean, it's nothing.
Got it. Yep. All right. So then, like, the only other thing I'm gonna just see where this goes, but I'm just gonna go here what I'm planning on doing right away. And this is, I'm gonna only share as much as I can because this was given to me in confidence. But, I do have, there is a member that has a friend that has been successful in, purchasing some vehicles and such. We're gonna be there. I want to see all the variations. So I'm not sharing any, of that right this moment, but they can, and they're a member of the group. So when they're ready, and maybe it might be, we might have to do something where we might have to exchange identifications, just to be safe. Because if I'm getting strikes over here, I'm getting attacks here. It's like I'm trying to do a good thing over here, and and I'm getting attacked. Like what the? But I guess it's action reaction to the system. Oh, this is what I want to go through before I even go through. But I'm just gonna do a search here just so we know what I want to talk about next. This is what I want to talk about. Let me go back to here. Now I want to go to here to a private page because I want to log in right here. I'm going to log into my other account, YouTube. I'm going to play some of this video. There's a video about, I'm going to go over it right now. No, wrong one right here. History. I watched it for lunch today and it was interesting. I'll see if I can. I am sharing screen, right? Let me check while this thing is loading right here. Will we be going into a new monetary system? Right here. I don't know. This is my nephew watched that. I don't watch that. Suicide Boys. I mean, this is really, really slow. I cannot believe this. So let me.
Now that market is coming to an end.
This right here, it's 30-minute video. I mean, it would be like very, it would be really botchy if I went through it. So I would recommend, I mean, I'll play this whole thing. This thing is really, really interesting. Let me go over something else. And then if we're not doing anything, I would love for us to watch this and have this documented because it basically is a very important video. I know about this stuff, that everything goes in cycles. And this video, if I had it recorded, because otherwise I'm just going to skim through it. But it's this guy, if you're interested, this guy 145, he's got more than Van Bomar. I was on that fence. He does have good information. I'm on the fence whether or not, his information is 100% because there's some videos he made that he's claiming that we're gonna have like a big Maunder minimum, but we're in a high sunspot cycle. There's some kind of an agenda not to let us know how many sunspots there are. Until it's 2 years later. You could never get like I can't for because the sunspots, they affect everything. They affect how we are when it's sunspot cycle. I went over it in the last video here. Sunspot cycle. Why it's important because we're going into winter and images right here. You see these images here. Well, anyway, while we gotta wait for these pages to load. So this video, let me just jump around on it. because they don't only show, you see, this is the 0, this is when Christ was born. You know, he's selling a product here, he gets a little commission off of. And I'm not pressing play, but it's a very good video. Maybe we'll watch some of it later on, because this does apply to us. And what this guy is claiming is that, and I've been getting a gut feeling about this too for, you know, for a year or so. You know how we had all those offices closed? Let me make sure there's nobody trying to get into this room. I know participants, yeah, all right, got it. So let me move this to the side. So look at the sunspot cycle images here. I would ask that anybody, if you have the time, go through your life and see how it reflects to the sunspots. You're gonna see it's gonna be right on point. The times, the years when you were the best, well, when it was a high sunspot cycle. That's when you do a lot of creating businesses and like you're very successful. The smart people, the billionaires, not the millionaires, as soon as it's coming down, they wait till the last 6 months to a year, then they sell everything. Then everybody else does the opposite. They keep buying because they think it's still going to get good, and then they crash. They wind up going bankruptcy, and these guys liquidate them. That's, you know, it's natural. But if you know this knowledge, you could advance. So, but the important part about this video is that he's saying that like they're going into the point. You know, if you've heard of Nasara and Jasara, let me see where he goes over that. Let me bring this quality down, because then I could skip through it better, but the quality would be less. And then we're going to watch a bit of it, but just in case we don't, you know. Okay, let me look at this here.
I'm down with it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let me go through this other thing, and then which is, so if this is, I'll play it right now. But what I want to go through is back to what I was saying about this participant of the member, that he has a friend of his that's, you know, purchased some vehicles and such. And what we want to do is we basically want to make our own custom checks. So let me do, I'm going to be getting QuickBooks. It comes in 2 different versions. I'm not going to use.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. My stepbrother here, me and him is a king at that, towards commissaries and bill of exchange. Those are checks.
Got it. Have you been successful in you know, purchasing anything? Have you attempted it yet?
Not really. We're going to go ahead and try, but a lot of things go back to the bonds. So you got to know what you're doing towards the bonds and stuff.
It's basically, it's going to be based on, you know, what exactly is your status? Has it been corrected? Because this person already sent in a pack, so he's got all the basics. It might not have been as extensive as we're preparing. He's basically redoing his pack now. And I believe the other person that was successful did have their pack in, but it's simple. You know, it's going to get back to this video, because if we do go into this new quantum banking system, you know, we're going to basically, everyone else is going to be going into like, well, I mean, they're saying maybe abundance and what do they call it? The Jubilee and stuff like that. I had a lot of hope in this Jasara. If you've never heard of it, we'll go over it in a bit. But, you know, I want to write here, QuickBooks, custom check writing, custom check.
Yeah, I heard about the quantum system years ago. I have somebody that's in the game with that.
How about Sarah and Jasara?
Yeah, I heard about that too. And in the 4D and the 5D. I heard about the what is that? The currency reset.
Yep.
I have some people. One of my uncles, he's years ago he exchanged with he exchanged a long time ago.
No, I'm saying what did he exchange?
He exchanged the what is it? It was the dang, what was that? It was the other dinar.
I remember.
He privately exchanged that, and it was in Las Vegas, I think, Nevada somewhere.
Got it.
Yep.
Good. All right. So I'm over here and I want to see if there's maybe just images of this right here. Quick. So basically, are they? No, that's the accounting software. Yeah, I've had QuickBooks. I've had like QuickBooks. I was looking for how you customize the check. I can't really see this too good, but yeah, it gives you the options here. I'm gonna work on this right away because we're gonna try it because this person has already. So he's gonna basically write me a check to build him a nice super like a mansion, and then we work it out between us. But it's legitimate. Basically, I'm a contractor. I have a legitimate company with a tax ID number, and I would be at no fault in this particular transaction if he wants me to build him a pyramid house. Oh, let me get me off video. I mean my video on. So if I well, I'm sharing screen anyway. So
I'm gonna tell you this, just like Patrick said, when one person gets in, you help everybody else that's in the circle. And you ain't gotta per se have a business. You can help somebody else to pay a bill, or if they need cash in there, then well, not cash, but credit in their account, they can do that too. They can do all that stuff. Patrick said it even on his a few of his videos. He said it, and he didn't believe in charging either. And he's like, he said, if you're going to charge, once you show how to get the credit, and then let them go ahead and do it like that towards what if you know the process, the process like that, and you know how to get your credits, then once you train them to get it, and then they can pay you that way.
Right, I follow you. Because the way that PJ was showing it, he was showing the negative check writing. But if you have you seen that process, the negative check writing, and then the treasury would issue the check to whoever
Yes.
you're.
Yes, it has to be negative. It can't be positive. It has to be negative because you're taking it away, so they can pay whoever.
Yes, it's to do what do they call that? To do basically public debt reduction, right? Yeah. So anyway, the way that this
correct.
Person,
yes.
The way that this person did it is they didn't do it with negative check writing with the 1099 process. They just basically wrote their checks out because they needed vehicles. So I don't know how right or wrong. That's why I don't want to have anybody pulling up at the house over here. You know what I mean? Like if we do anything wrong. But I know as a business, I know that they want to kind of like, get out of the system, with, the group, the main group. And also they keep on saying that like, no, you want to get out of the system. Yeah, I do. It's just that like up until I can get to that point, like I want to not have to be a slave to the system. So I want to kind of that's why I'm investigating bail bonds, silver surety bonds, hey, how can we make a little money? So this way, when anyone comes, maybe in 6 months, we'll already be done. And then, the videos will be archived and then they could figure out, hey, what's the frequency of wavelength thought patterns that we were going through. That's the whole reason why I made this. I said, I will never have a chance. As I say, if I started the YouTube channel now, in let's say when we're kind of like already in it, they wouldn't have seen all the growth because there's a lot of things that I've had that were incorrect, but I constantly say, hey, I was wrong about that, I was wrong about that, I was wrong about that. So you have to kind of get up into the future videos to figure out what mistakes we made back then. But anyway, so that's just something that I was going to go through. So now
I even have some checks and all that you can see as well, and I don't mind helping you out to do the checks as well.
okay.
But I do want to say a lot, but I just it's recording, so I can't say too much.
What we could do is after we watch a little bit of this video, we can go private because I could do a part 1 and part 2. I know how to do that. I basically stop sharing on YouTube, and then the part 2 once I stop sharing on YouTube, then that's all I leave on YouTube is the public part. And then the part 2, since there's nobody else, and then we could talk, maybe I could even invite somebody. I can go on Google Workspace. We could invite somebody, chat with them on the private end. And then that one I'll only put into the private playlist. You follow?
That makes sense. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff I want to say, but it'd be too much information. They'll have something to say about
exactly. So
your channel. So and that'll be good. That'll be good. And I think if the guy that does this, and he do the cards and stuff like that, and there's some stuff I know how to do. We know how to do. There's nothing wrong with doing like a contract affidavit. Not affidavits, I'm sorry, but like something that's saying to keep your mouth shut, this and that, and that'll be good too. So it won't leave from the group, because all this information is not for everybody.
Yep,
it's not.
That's
not for. That's why it's hidden. It's not for everybody. That's why it's not for everybody to be wealthy. It's not for everybody to be rich. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's minds and their spirit and their heart is not where it needs to be. You see what I'm saying? And it just has, you got to be on that certain level for you to have that blessing. And it's not meant for everybody. It gets into the wrong hands. It's crazy. I got somebody that does like the passports. And this passport is on so much another level. You get stopped and all that. They won't do nothing, this and that. One time, one of the guys had a firearm. He had a firearm. Sorry, that's my son. He had a firearm, and he had a firearm, and I'm gonna tell you, they didn't do anything. They saw his passport. They let him go quick.
What did he have?
But I don't know what kind of passport it was. I know the guy. I haven't got with him yet, and because he charges, but we even discussed this is not for everybody. You know, if this passport get into the wrong hands, they could do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, remember we talked about it when I said, like, you can't just no one could just get a badge and then not know what to do with it. Like you have to have all the backing. You have to have a little bit of knowledge. I mean, I've been studying this good enough to hold my ground. They were trying to almost trying to arrest me when I gave that deputy sheriff that ticket. And I'm still working on that. But like the guy, that's the story of our lives, is they're not honoring, they're not honoring our status. So that's where the legal notice of demand comes in. We're gonna be working on all that. It's gonna get fast paced, but not November. Like November, I have a big job here, and and then this whole month I'm gonna be busy. But you guys, everybody else is doing their paperwork because they're not busy. So I don't know. I'm supposed to be like the like not the leader, but the orchestrator of this. But everybody's on their own. So as soon as I get it going. All right, so let's watch this, and then we can go private because there's nobody else coming in. It's Halloween, a lot of people have kids, but at least now it's dark. Only the older kids are out, being naughty and such. So I'm gonna skip through it, but let's watch this
in tandem.
This is very
now that market is coming to an end, and we've known about that for quite some time. I'm expecting to see a major crash in about a year. And it's interesting that the new financial system, we're going to be running two financial systems together. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We're going to have two of them running in tandem for the next year. And then once we move to the new financial system, the current market, which is based in fiat money, is going, because we're going to have a new, I don't know what it's called yet, a new currency called, they're calling it sort of a rainbow.
It's a fiat
currency and a rainbow currency.
Well, I usually, because that's what I was about to say, is whenever you want me to pause and then we can talk now. No, well, he's saying a new type of currency. It should be like a quantum banking kind of currency. They're still gonna have fiat just because there's so much of it around. But he's saying they're gonna the preliminary steps to remove fiat. He's gonna show you what the new bills look like. Let me see if I see that. Well, as we go through
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. So, how long ago was that?
it's today. It's published today.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you something. I got an inside, and he's very connected. And I'm gonna tell you, earlier last year, he said that it was gonna happen this year. Everything he said happened, even from with the corona. Like he was on point with everything. He said, "Get ready. It's about to be this and that. It's about to be a shutdown," and it was a shutdown. He told me almost a year before that it was going to happen, and I was like, "Oh my God, this guy is on point." I don't know who he worked for. You part of elites or what? But he was on point, and he said this year. He said, "Look around November or December. That's when he said that's when the system is about to be messed up." And he said it's going to be us to help other people, because everything is going to skyrocket too. Like when you start seeing stuff skyrocket, like the gas and stuff at the market, you know when it's about to happen. And I'm gonna tell you, it's happening now.
Oh
like
yeah,
I'm in North Carolina, and the gas is like over $3, almost $4 now. Like it's crazy.
Yep. So I mean, just to add to that, I've been knowing this, as plus with my with my experience in astrology, I've been knowing that they're gonna do something big. But this guy, he's got a little bit of a twist. But I wanna, like, I was very interested, but I was eating my lunch, so I knew I wanted to watch it a second time. So this is a perfect opportunity to watch this a second time to kind of get. And then, don't take everything as gospel, because you never know who to trust. But the guy seems, the guy's a financial guy, and this is very interesting. I wanted to document this as a part of the archive of, you got to know that everything goes cyclical. Weather, sunspots, fall and rise and fall of empires. This video is very well put together. So let's see.
It'll have some other name, but it will be linked back to gold. And so we're going to have these two and actually have some value to it. So the new market will start out of that, and the fiat market will come down because there won't be any more money in it as we move out of fiat and go to this new currency.
Of space. And, I'm a fan of history. A couple of years ago, about good afternoon, everyone. Today, I have with me Peter Temple. We talked a couple of years ago about cycles and things repeating in time and history. Peter runs worldcyclesinstitute.com. And, I'm a fan of cycles. I understand how things move through the heavens, repeating vibrational frequencies, depending on areas of space. There's so many things within us, the crust of the earth, the sun, the universe itself, our solar system, the galaxy. These cycles repeat. And if you can pinpoint cycles of civilization collapse, fall, ruin, apex, and then also the economies that move in tandem with that. And it seems to be the shift that we're in right now is nothing more than a repeat of something that had happened previously, and previously before that, and previously before that. So coming in today's technological world, we're going to see a lot of shifts and changes. If you haven't noticed, there's this thing called the Great Reset out there, which is meant to shift every aspect of our lives: finance, living, diet, private carbon allocations, cryptocurrency, blockchain, digital IDs, everything in the works for that at this time, where we are definitely shifting out of an age of different perception and the frequency of life itself moving a little bit faster as we transit through this new Aquarian energy over the next 2,000 years. We've literally just changed an age, and you could even talk about the change of an age in a planetary and star body format as we changed ages in December 2019. So we're really getting into this shift, and everybody can feel it. So I just wanted to bring Peter on today because I feel that he has so much depth of knowledge of repeating cycles, economy, civilization, and tech that we're rolling through once again. And we're right at this precipice. Seems like we're on the backside of if you're going to talk about, fourth turning or other terms for cycles of multi-generations that roll over into a decline phase. We're kind of there now too. So Peter, I appreciate you coming on, and everybody out there listening. This is going to be a little economic forecast, some things coming up in the next few weeks, and just generally how our lives are going to be shifting over the next couple of years with tech and freedoms,
Let me know whenever you need me to pause.
etc. So Peter, thanks for joining me. The floor is yours.
Okay,
Okay.
well, David, it's really great to be here. And I can't tell you how much I enjoy talking to you because it's somebody that knows what I'm talking about. And you and I connect on that basics, both climate and on cycles. And so cycles is sort of my world. But there has been something going on, as you've been alluding to, for the past 5 years or so, and even before that. And really, the big change started with JFK's demise, his assassination in 1963. And I can remember the time that I was in New York at that time and the actual day it happened. And most people can remember when that happened. So this is a big story. And I'm just going to touch on just some elements of it and try and take you through as much as I can. And I thought I would start with where we've talked about before. And this is really a look at climate cycles over 2,000 years. And does my pointer show up here?
So if you look at this, I mean, this is really interesting. So you got 0 is somewhere around here, right? You know, there's one time of Christ. Look when Rome fell. You could see that right here. And then they call it the Hadrian's Wall. Basically, you know, when it dipped, look at the Viking Age. Wow, look at that. Then it went to Maya Peak, like the Mayan Indians, you know, and look at this Viking, how low it went. And look at over here. This is the Maunder minimum. It's got to be the Maunder minimum right over here. Look, 1664. All those movies that we see, all that cold weather. But the Viking one, there's this movie called Pathfinder. Oh man, this movie's bad. It's not. It is. This movie's unbelievable. It shows about a Viking. I'm gonna share that. All I'm gonna do is this, and then I'm gonna just do Pathfinder, if you know, just because it's on the same movie. This is it. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. 2007. Yeah, and just I'll do like a quickie thing right here. This is the place I've been watching my movies here now. Let's see, because it doesn't have too many pop-ups. Now in the winter, I watch these kind of movies. Look right there, 2007. Yep. If you know, you just click right here, www.solarmovies.2. You know, I mean, I shouldn't be sharing this, but well, maybe we'll do it like privately or something. Anyway, it's there. So you just press play, and then you got to deal with a couple of pop-ups. That's it. Back to this. That movie's in here. Let me see here.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Do you like? I mean, would you be interested in it? I'll show you a little bit of it. It's basically a Viking. They come and they invade the Americas, right? The Vikings in that time where it shows this peak right here. You know, this low point here. You know, somewhere in this area, but it's so cold, and the son, this Viking king's son, is not a killer. So he tries to kill him, leaves him for dead. They go back to wherever Vikings come from, and they came back years later when he grew up, and he's pretty much almost like a chief with the Indians. Beautiful movie. But it's cold, so it's good.
What is it called again?
Well, here I'm gonna do. It's called Pathfinder.
Pathfinder. It sounds familiar, but play it because I do want to see it.
Oh yeah, and then I just showed you where, you know, so make a note of that if you're interested on that webpage. All right, Pathfinder trailer. Yeah, I should say 2007.
And it was called Kuwait. It was the Kuwait. It was the Kuwait exchange. I think it was in 91.
I know about all that. That's called about the dinar, right?
Yes, it was Kuwait. He was one of the ones that exchanged. One of my uncles. That's who told me about this. about the dinar and Vietnamese dong and the Indian rupiah and the Zimbabwe.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yep. All right, so let me play this. That's so I got you. I follow you. Well, we might not have to do any of that, but
there are two wolves fighting in the man's heart. One is called love, the other, hate.
Just so you know, this movie is a hidden gem. You know, one of these movies that not many people know about. It's like, but it's cold. Now with the cold weather coming, for some reason I have like this almost this instinctive, or I want to watch these movies, but it makes you freaking freezing because the whole movie is ice, and so.
The boy has destiny among the people. He stays.
Who am I? I've tried to shed my past, but it claws at me.
The prophecy is coming to fulfillment.
Run and you may live. Fight them, you will die.
What will you do?
Kill as many as I can.
Lisa, hi, how you doing? So that's it. I mean, what else was there? What's that last couple seconds? So that's it. This is where you watch it.
Man, I like stuff like that. Woo!
Yeah, that's awesome. You know what we could do, right? We could watch this movie. If you're gonna watch it, we could watch it together with commentary. Could you imagine? We start watching movies together. If you're a movie watcher, you know, I'll have before I have dinner, I'll watch a movie, you know, and I'll have a glass of wine, you know, and we can do that, and then we could record it, you know, this way it's you can watch a movie, you know what I mean? Privately. We're watching it amongst friends. But I want to really, what I really want to do is I want to have almost like a, you know, like a what do you call it? Like a Noah's Ark type of server. There's a word I'm looking for where you have a data center. You know, each one of us is gonna have like our own data center where you're gonna have almost your own crypto or so. You know, I'm already working on it. I'm going to make the appointment. I'm going to speak to this computer company that's going to do that. Because, you know, with unlimited funds, you could do a lot. You just need to have people that are capable. Basically, you're going to be subcontracting. You're in the business. You know, you pretty much know how that phase works, like the whole construction thing. There's only so much you can grow by having employees. Then what you do is you subcontract everything out. You just have to have a good office to manage subcontractors, and that's what you want. Lisa, hi, how are you? Welcome. So we'll go back to this, and then we'll watch a little bit more of this, and then once in a little while we'll go private.
Yeah, I want to hear what Lisa got to say too. She did her process.
Yeah, sure does. This is one of my favorite charts too, because this was from the GIS.
Yeah, I believe it's Lisa down from Florida, so let me make sure that she has the ability to unmute. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Yes. All right. So she does have the ability. So she may just not. She'll come on whenever you'd like, and unmute yourself, because you do have the ability to unmute.
To Ice Core Data Series, which is supposedly the gold standard.
What's that?
The gold standard for Earth's temperatures. And you're seeing all these rises and falls, and we're still debating whether, like, what caused the rise and falls of these temperatures? Forget the civilizations. Each of those red arrows, I mean, it wasn't CO2 back then, I assure you.
1,030 years. No, it is just a natural phenomenon. And
Natural, Don. This is, you know how the airplane was invented all around the world? I went through that already. Because we were coming pretty much out of the minimum. If you look here, look, 1835, this right here where my cursor is, this is like the time right before the Civil War. There was abundance in America. Then when we had this right here, you know, it was either at this point or this point. Let me see, 1835, 2000. It's not really very clear, but this looks like right when we had the Civil War. Look, 1835, 1886, or whatever that was. You know, 1776 is over here somewhere. You know, our country, everything follows this. And then look at where we are now. We're at up here, but we're not as big as how Rome was. Look at how tall. This number means oxygen. Oh, I thought it was the sunspot cycle. Data from Greenland ice cores climate. And then it's interesting because, you know, you have to also question the data, you know. I thought it was the sunspot cycle, but I guess it's not. It's the oxygen in the air. You know, obviously when there's more oxygen, we get taller, we get stronger, we get bigger. They say when, like the humans, when there's more oxygen, that, you know, like the amount of oxygen was up to 23% when the dinosaurs ruled, if that even exists. You know, who knows? They probably exist now, and they're just lying to us. It's 365 million years ago. I don't even really believe that. But when the oxygen is high, everything is doing better. So combine oxygen levels with sunspot cycles, and
always kind of equated with electromagnetic.
You make your own, you know, judgment.
Waves.
I just find it so very, very interesting. I find it very interesting, and I'm on it. I'm all on it.
And changes based on the
The more
solar system.
oxygen that's in the body,
Oh,
the less diseases you'll have.
Oh yeah, but actually, you know what? Also, they're finding out is it wasn't the oxygen; it was the hydrogen. That's why here. Let me show you. Let me share screen, and let me stop share. Let me show you a couple things. I got this right here. They're finding out that not the oxygen, because you know how they say when something gets oxidized, it gets damaged. Let's just say it's actually the hydrogen. This right here is let me see here. Hydrogen for health. I mean, not that I, you know, got much benefits, but I bought it and then I pretty much didn't need it anymore. But you can get the same effect. But this does it. What it does is it takes the water that's H2O. So it's H2O1, right? So it's hydrogen 2, oxygen 1. What this does is it separates the two parts hydrogen and makes it into a gas. It starts fizzing. I could show you. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen these, but anyway. But then you have
it's just that? Like the high. Did you say earlier about the hydrogen peroxide?
Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. Yeah, I said
right. The hydrogen peroxide. Are you talking about the hydrogen peroxide food grade?
Yeah, of course, I'll show you.
Okay, yeah, because you know what? I have that. I had that before. And I left it in the freezer. I put it in the freezer. And you put drops.
Yeah, give me a second, King. Is it anything urgent? Because I can call you when I'm done. Angel, you all right?
Yeah, it's not me. It's Chippy. She's 30 minutes from your house. She went to maybe give her a ride. She went
Who?
to a party in that Chippy. She lived in Mastic though, but she went to a party with a girl, and the girl left her. So she's trying to walk home. She said there's no Ubers, which makes sense because it's
Tell her to come to my
Halloween.
house. Tell her to come to my house.
I just told her that, but she talking about I'm 30 minutes from his house, and I got Hills. I said, Tony not gonna help if you don't go to his house.
Okay. Well, have her call me. She's got my number.
All right, so I'm gonna give it to her. Okay, thank you, Tony.
All right, you got it.
I'm gonna send you a video of the kids in their costumes tonight.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, later.
Bye. So here it is right here. This is the food grade.
I just want to say you're a good man.
Why? No, thank you very much. That's nice of you to say. No, I kind of almost adopted these people. She's her. I dated her sister, and we still fool around. But she no matter that they're not as woke as we are, she went and got the jab, and it's like not her sister, and her and her whole kids. She's got a couple kids. None of them got it, and she's not about to. But the other one got pressured into it because she's into the like recording music and stuff, and that somebody pressured her or something. But I think she made the wrong. So if I even want to continue with her sister, in other words, I would have to detox her from that because it's not good. You could get intimately involved with somebody that's got that. You can get sick from it. I did. Because I got intimate with her and she didn't tell me. She lied. She said she didn't. I was sick for a week. I had a mystery illness and I never get sick. So right here, you could do numerous things with this, but this is only with supervision. Like you can't, if you spill this on you, you got to wash it off with water fast, but it will burn.
Well, it's going to burn your skin.
Yeah, it's gonna burn your skin. But what I've seen people do also with this is, how you got these moles and warts and stuff, you could burn them right off. They scab up, but then they go away. I was intaking this. I have the list somewhere. There's 35%. I was intaking about one time I went up to only in the summer I could do it because you disinfect yourself. That's what the whole thing I was telling you about the videos number 56 is taking the 5 and getting the 6. So basically transforming the physical body into a supreme how to transition from the 5 to the 6. That's why I named it. 56 videos are all going to be how to what I've went through to get to where I am right now. I'm very healthy. I can get up and run around the block, and I'm 50. I'm going to be turning 50 on November 29th is my birthday. But I was in September. I should say in summertime, I could take this in addition to other stuff. I took about 30 in my memory, 30 drops a day in taking of this 35%, about 30 drops. But I drink it while I'm detoxing at the gym. I detox at the gym first. And then if I want to build, it's a different diet. But when you're detoxing, I know how to do that to lose weight. I was like 210 pounds. I'm 140 now. Like I really had a big problem. And it was not me. It was some health problems that I had. And then as far as while I'm on it, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to show you the,
Yeah, I know about that hydrogen peroxide, the food grade. I know that very well because you put drops in water.
exactly.
And that's why that's put oxygen in your body.
Yes, of course. It's put in one part of
that put oxygen in your body. And I got burnt one time, but they say you use gloves. And then there is a thing that they give you to tell you how many drops to do. So you could do 3 drops for like a week, and then you can go up to like 5. And it just depends on what you're trying to do with your body, But it's really good to just use on the daily. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 drops, just to purify the body and put that oxygen in the body, because it's really good for you. You'd be surprised. There's this one guy, not to cut you off, but there's this one guy, he had cancer.
Yeah, I had cancer.
He had cancer, and he was taking that, and it went away. But when he stopped, it came back.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
Yeah, yeah. So it came back. So he's saying that, you know, the end result of it was, you know, you pretty much gotta keep going. You have to keep going, but you have to eat right too. You know,
it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. You completely change your lifestyle. So when you change your lifestyle, you're a new person now. So you're not who you were. But your body, even they say like your body rebuilds itself. You know, it cells and stuff. You start looking different too if you keep going with it. So yeah, the guy's name was like something like a Jim. There's a lot of stuff. There's even, because I had cancer too. What happens is if you start attacking the cancer in your body, well, there's a lot of people that have cancer, but it's dormant, not dormant. It's operating. All you see in this start gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. That is this level of cancer. If you have numerous like international partners, you start getting all the strains of the cancer throughout the entire world. Like, you know, and what happens is then it gets really, really diabolical because they work together, just like the system. If you consider the, you know, like say the court systems as a cancer on the planet, let's just say, imagine, you know, how they work together, the sheriff with this, with that, you know, with all the governments and stuff, the mind control. So same thing, as within, so without, as above, so below. So now, the cancer, if you have a aggressive strain, when you take anything, you take a drop of hydrogen peroxide, it feels like it goes into defense mode. It does something called it metastasizes. What happens is it starts going and invading other parts of the body where it starts. Admit, okay. Yeah, welcome private privacy, welcome private piracy, Felicity, right? So we've been on for a while. What is it now? It's 9:03, so it's been an hour. It was nice speaking with you earlier. So you have the ability to unmute yourself. Let me see here. You allow participants to unmute themselves. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Welcome. Yes, I'm well. Thank you very much. So you know, you could. We were just going over. We got, you know, King Don here. We were going over hydrogen peroxide. We were going over. You'll see the screen here. We were going climate change and stuff. Yeah, we're watching a little bit of a video here. Well, basically, I didn't have anything, you know, kind of planned because I've been working, you know, doing roofing and stuff. So I haven't had time. This is all in the back burner now. But December comes around, then I'm gonna get moving forward. But you know, there's always, you know what? While we have you, then, what, you know, like, where are you in the process of status correction? You know, if you want to share.
Well, I did get an EIN for the estate, and I have a trust, a faith-based organization trust. And I mean, do I need to do like a UCC 1?
Yeah.
Hello? I can't hear you. Okay.
Really? Let's see here. My mic is unmuted, and you should be able to hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't talking. I was just starting to talk. That's why my mouth looked like it was moving. But yeah. So I mean, that's great. You got that. You know, when I got the estate EIN, like, I don't know if it had to do with it. I'm gonna shut this off since I'm not presenting because this light is bothering me. So yeah, you said the UCC 1. We're following a process that is on a rate like that was done by PJ. That's at least what I'm doing, and I'm doing the little bits of tweaks and changes to it, but have
Mhm.
you gone through those videos on the Radiant Clone YouTube channel?
On the what channel?
Radiant Clone. It's these.
Well, yeah, I've watched some of them. Yes.
Maybe you watch the Patrick Devine ones. Here, let me
Yes.
share screen, and I'm gonna just share screen quick.
You will have to you have to give notice. You have to give notice. You have to
Okay.
you have to do affidavits of ownership
Uh-huh.
where you were born.
I've done an affidavit of status, but I have not filed it. Do I file it in the
You need to file it in the state that you are where you were born. And
okay, now
you need to file it in a state that where you mostly do your contracts, because that's giving them notice.
okay, now the thing is I was born in Kenya, and
Okay.
and so I'm legal here, but I don't know exactly how that works for somebody who was born somewhere else.
That is such a good question.
That is a good question. That's a great, crazy question.
The reason why is because that's next on my list. The only thing that I could say is Druana is I would have to go back and look at the videos. She deals with a lot of international people, and there is a way. I do not know that process, but I can investigate it. It is basically so when you came here, did you get naturalized or anything like that?
I have a green card.
Yeah, so yeah, you that's I believe that you to get a green card, you would you're a what do they call it? You're a resident, right?
Yes. Yes.
You're a resident. Okay.
A permanent resident.
What age did you come?
I came when I was 5 or 6.
Got it. Okay.
And
so
I'm 44.
Mm-hmm. And you were down Texas, right? Or was that somebody else?
Texas.
Yeah, because
I'm in Texas.
Because I remember you mentioned earlier. So there is a way that you can do that. It's just the only thing that you're lacking is that American birth certificate. So I don't know if I believe, did you have a birth certificate when you came?
I do have a Kenyan birth certificate.
You know what? I believe that no matter what and where, now just so you guys know, when they started this whole postal thing, there was when the post offices really started doing the whole thing throughout the world, that's what actually when they start getting people in remote areas. I'm going to explain in particular in my parents' country, which is in Europe, it's Albania. And there, around like right around when the elites took over the banking system, like when they had the Jekyll Island, this is what they did throughout the world. They started putting these post offices in place, even in third world countries, and then starting to get like social security numbers, but they named them different things and started doing the birth certificates. So why? Because that is it's a security, your birth certificate. So I know that you can. I just do not remember the process to advise you correctly. But
okay, now this is the deal. Like I adopted my cousin, okay? And he is, I believe, 1 year younger than me. We did a court proceeding where we did an adult adoption. And so we've done, once we got the judge's order, because he's changing his last name to my last name, we did an application for a new birth certificate with Department of Health and Human Services. And so we just got a response where they wanted us to pay a $22 fee and attach what they call a form VS-140 for an application for a birth certificate and which type of birth certificate did we want. And so what we did is we put in for the long birth certificate. So he is going to actually get an American birth certificate.
Where was he born?
In Kenya.
Okay, so then let's and then I guess, wow, that's interesting. So he was born in Kenya and he's your cousin, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And you filed for this, and so you
I
guys
filed,
came.
I did an adult adoption in the court.
Let me say something real quick. By
Mhm.
you being in another, coming from another country, you know, you probably don't have to do anything. Just common sense here in my experience, because when you get your birth certificate authenticated, you get it
Mhm.
authenticated, and usually they authenticate in another country. Mine's is in Kenya.
Okay.
Okay, so it makes sense to me. What I will probably do is, my opinion, I will go ahead and get it authenticated out here in the state and the federal level.
Okay, so do I send it, because I heard that, I believe it's Minnesota is where they do birth certificate authentications.
Virginia?
And in Minnesota.
I'll do it.
Okay,
And
there's two. Yeah, there's two places. I have the address.
okay.
I mean, I can give you the address of that to get it
Okay.
to get that done.
Okay.
And that's the authenticated. That's what I would do. I would authenticate it out here, because this is where you reside at. This is where you live, because you want to be still recognized out here as well. So when they go ahead and they do birth certificate, they authenticate it within another country anyway.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's what they do. So I mean, everybody doing Kenya and different other places. So I mean, yeah. So that's what I would do, and make sure you get the long form.
Yes, sir.
Of the birth certificate. You got to get the long form, and I will get a lot of them. I will get as much you can, at least about probably 10 of them if you can.
Because it's a security instrument, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you have to give notice to. You have to give notice from the IRS. You have to give all them notice.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stuff I do want to say. I can't say too much. It's recording.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be careful. It's
okay.
We'll go private in a little bit once we hear from these two ladies, and then because King Don is a member of the private group, so we're gonna go into a part 2, so this way we could let loose, and then it'll be privately, it's gonna be on a private playlist. But I think I don't know if you've reached out to be, but I want to get back to what you were saying. So this is that is this something like the form that you did?
Yes, if it's the VS 140, I did a VS 160 and a VS 140.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying about the process, like what I'm following. I'm not sure, but I believe that King Don is doing. King, you haven't sent out your pack or anything, right?
You said what? Say it again.
Have you sent out your pack? You haven't sent out your pack, have you?
I don't know what pack you're talking about. There's different ways of doing this.
I follow you. Like your first treasury pack. But when you okay, I'm gonna go over it right now. So there's of course there's the Patrick Divine stuff. I'm gonna go through those as soon as I get my pack in. I watched 100 of the videos of Patrick Divine, but I want to get them in a sequence.
There's 200 of them.
What was that?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I said there's 200.
And some of that stuff you have to watch it, because Patrick Divine was so much intelligent on this thing, and Gene Keaton was his teacher. That was one of his main teachers, is Gene Keaton.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I know I don't want to say too much. I know somebody that used to bunk with Patrick Divine and was on his calls. I know, I personally know some of these people. You know, there's some things I just can't say right now on here. We go private, I let it all out. But some things have been changed. See, some people, some of this stuff they add to it to throw you off because they don't want people knowing all this stuff. See, Patrick didn't care. He about helping people.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. He don't care. He'll tell you in a minute on all his videos. Tell everybody. He even had a problem with how many people was on the call. He like, it should be a lot of people on this call. Yeah, but they sitting up there looking at football games and basketball games. He said on a lot of his videos, his calls. Because this is very important.
Right.
So, you know, like I said, some things they tweaked. And they did it on purpose. That's why they always say, well, what worked for one person may not work for the next.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, when you're bringing all these paperworks in, they know who's copycatting. They know who's copycatting. Trust me. That's why sometimes it's good to edit and do certain things and put your own umph into it. Because if you're copying everything to the T, trust me, they know.
Yeah.
Yep. Put your little.
I kind of noticed that.
Yeah, you just have to be careful that you because these people are very smart, and like I said, this stuff is not for everybody. It's not, and you gotta be you gotta be ready to stand your ground and fight and defend, on some of this stuff. And all it is just acknowledging and giving notice. That's it.
Yes.
I am. You need to know who you are. Who are you? Because to the system, you're dead.
Right.
That's what it is. So they need to know, well, if you ain't dead, well, who are you then? I'm a living soul. I'm on the ground. I'm on a living soul, and I come with clean hands. That's very important. Clean hands is very important because if you get your status corrected, I know people that got certain things corrected and they can own freaking counties. Like you can be so much on another level with this process. You're very dangerous. You can be very dangerous to the system. So that's why even Patrick Devine was saying that when you get to a certain point, don't be surprised if the men in black knock at your door because they want to know what your intentions are. You can tear the system up. That's why it's not meant for everybody. It's not meant for everybody to know this stuff. It's not. It's really not. You know, and then sometimes when you tell people, they be like, huh? Because they're so used to one way. And it's kind of, it's like, you know, how they say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Right. Well, I mean, it is kind of hard because it's a whole nother language now. And somebody is talking about, you know, what, you know, the status correction and all that, what to do and this and that, and the GSA bonds. And all these other indemnity bonds, all these other stuff that you got to do, you know, with the instruments, the promissory notes, the FINS number. I mean, there's a lot to it. You just got to know how to put it together. Some things you can read and have knowledge on, but still don't know how to put certain things together. Certain
because
things
not all that
need to be
information
taught.
is out there. Right.
Certain things need to be taught. Certain things.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
No, for sure. Yep. Let me because I have two things that I got halfway through. I just want to show you what was my screen. So just to finish up with what we were saying about this, 35. This is very dangerous. You got.
Is that food grade hydrogen peroxide?
Yes.
I have some.
Okay, great. I'm gonna just share to you what I should really. This has got to get done proper. I gotta do this. So a couple things. What I'm going to show you is how the hospital industry and mold remediation companies, how they kill mold, how they kill, the coronavirus in hospitals. It's a big industry. I was going to get into it. It's called fogging. They make it big. The only ingredient, they put a label on this concentrated liquid that these companies go in and they put it and they fog it. They fog It's called dry fog, but it's really not dry fog. It's wet. Unless they found a way how to do a dry fog. I was going to be an authorized installer of it, and basically just go into people's houses and you spray it for like an hour, you fog it just like you're fogging for cockroaches, but it'll probably even kill cockroaches. What they do, the only ingredients, they put some fancy name, but I'm such an investigative Scorpion rising that I had to figure out what it was. I did all the research. Hydrogen peroxide and white vinegar. So I started doing that. Instead of buying that, I bought 35% pure, 35% hydrogen peroxide, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a third one. Quick. And then I bought this, which is 32% or 30% white vinegar. Oh, that's over here. 30% white vinegar, and then this thing here is a water. Oh, I drink distilled water. It's changed my life, but it'll seriously demineralize you. This is a mega home distiller, but they sell only this thing. So I basically put the vinegar, put the hydrogen peroxide, like maybe 2 ounces, like 2 ounces, and then I put like maybe a full glass of water. I'm gonna do less because last year and then you just turn this on. And it's like it's just boils it. You could just boil it on an oven. You could boil it pretty much, but slowly. Otherwise, it's gonna blast throughout the house, quick, and then it can get you can get serious detox reaction. So you want to put a little bit, just put a couple of drops, work it in. This is invaluable for the winter time because we're getting less sunlight from the sun, and all of the cancer, yeast, mold, fungus, candida, Lyme's disease, cancer. If I didn't mention it, everything wants to grow now. If you notice, if I didn't change my diet, I would have a particular appetite right now. You're like, you want a little bit more of that bread. You want a little bit more because your body naturally wants to gain fat, just like a bear does, so it can give you some extra insulation. And it knows we're going into the winter, so we need that also for the insulation, but also for stored nutrients. It's natural. So, and then I do that, and I just thought I'd finish it. But I want to show you one more thing. I'm going to show you my water distiller.
Kelp drops is good too. Kelp.
I have those. I have a big bag. I went through a phase of like seaweed, kelp. I went through a phase of sprouts. I mastered sprouts. It took me 6 months. And I do those sprouts are amazing. I could teach on those 56 videos, taking the 5 to the 6. I'm gonna do that. But and then also I did a phase of I have freaking a 5-pound bag of spirulina and chlorella. Spirulina and chlorella, a good one, and that's pretty interesting. That's a whole different creature that goes right into the brain and it detoxifies your brain. That's what it did for me. And then what happens is if you have any cancer or anything, it collapses, so it spreads out throughout the rest of your body. That's what happened when I started attacking my gut to get my gut health. I have 6 to 8 pack abs like right now at my age, even at this time of year where everybody goes down cycle. They don't start like a workout cycle where they go into the season, like summertime season where they lose weight, the bodybuilders, but in the wintertime they want to gain it. I skipped that this year, and last year I did gain some weight, maybe last year, but not anymore. I don't have to go in and start eating those different foods anymore. But anyway, what was I saying about the spirulina chlorella and the water? Oh, I lost weight. I can't remember. I was on something, but and so this is the water distiller. I drink, distilled water. If you want to either lose weight or if you want to detoxify, if you watch that video I made about the chemtrail detoxification, and then if you use it with distilled water, you could lose a lot of weight fast, but you just have to start cutting off some certain foods. I'm going to go through it, and it's going to be I'm going to do as much as I can public, but there's some stuff that YouTube. I would recommend you go to Dr. Robert Kassar. He's an amazing doctor in Hawaii, the Big Island of Hawaii. He's got a superfood company himself. It's called OGO. Is his family's, but he's got one. It's called Earth Shift Products. I buy a bunch of stuff from him. I bought, you can get 5-pound bags of certain stuff. That's it. I'm gonna move these away. So this is what I drink this. I put this into my, soups and broths and stuff. Let me move this away so you can take it away any way you want. And then another thing I'm gonna get into is what I have here. It's calcium hypochlorite. I don't use Purell or anything like that anymore. I use this calcium hypochlorite. It's pretty much chlorine. I should say bleach. You know how President Trump says bleach and hydrochloroquine. That he was taking to beat the CV. So I use MMS. I'm going to make videos on it. This is not the right bottle, in other words, but this is the only bottle I use for it. I'm a pastor with the Genesis 2 church, but it's the whole website's been taken down. They're in Colombia. And basically this guy named Jim Humble was a guy who went throughout Africa and South America working for the United States government, some kind of mining or whatever. Everybody was getting sick because you get stung by these mosquitoes. Very dangerous. I'm a big hiker. So when I go hiking, I got a lot of these mosquito bites, and there's all kind of strange stuff. And then if you ever do the research on Lyme's disease, I got Lyme's disease, and I mean I cured it. It's just it was not easy because it wants to take over your body and have you, just like they're doing with us as the free men. They're kind of like we're making everybody sheeple and stuff. They're doing it with our bodies. It's full circle. And so this is amazing. I'm going to show people. I snorted up a couple drops, up my nose. My nose is always clear. I do it in the morning, and then I mouthwash with it, brush my teeth with it. In addition to, I could even use hydrogen peroxide, but only the 3%, just in case, and gargle with it. You'll never get ear infections anymore if you do regular with water, not pure, but I put it in my mouth pure, because I'm at a level of health. But if you're toxic, as soon as you put hydrogen peroxide in your mouth, your body's gonna go into a defense mode, because it's not your body actually is the creatures that you have living inside your body. And believe it or not, that's what it is. All right, switch it, because we're talking secure party creditor stuff. So now, Felicity, I want to share screen and show you of the videos that are interesting to that I've watched.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Okay, Donald Trump did not take hydrochloroquine. He never
didn't.
took
Hi,
it.
Lisa, first off, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. He
Okay.
had 4 different vaccines for COVID.
Oh,
He
he
never
did,
took anything natural. He made money off of it.
He made money, but wasn't he supporting it or something? Like he's like, we got to
Because he
take.
was making a profit off of it, but he lost it all too, which is
I
good.
mean, his whole thing with like President. Yeah, I'm sure. He's a businessman, and he could, like how a lot of YouTube channels portray him as, like, I mean, at the end of the day, he's part of, I kind of like him, but because if it's either or.
Have you actually studied his past history? Because I know his history quite well. Because I'm from Gary, Indiana. I know what he did to Gary, Indiana. I know what he did to Florida, and Florida sucks when it comes to cops. Let me tell you, most of this stuff will not pertain to the cops. I still got a judge trying to arrest me again because of the driver's license and everything. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff. So this state's interesting, to say the least. But Donald Trump did not do what he said. Most of it's all a scam. And the latest news out, he's getting caught up in this stuff from ripping people off. Just warning you. He did not take any of this stuff.
Okay,
he just made commission off of it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's probably, a Mason and, part of the Illuminati. We're the Illuminated.
No, he's not. He's not.
No, he's not. Okay, so
he doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He's better than that, he thinks.
He's better than that.
Funny. Yeah, because the Illuminati is a lot stronger than he ever considered being. They've been around since the 1238 when they started hitting Europe. I can't remember my dates anymore. But they've been out a lot longer than him, but he doesn't believe in it. He thinks he can do whatever he wants, and everybody will bow down to him. I just don't like the guy.
So, how's everything with you? And what have you
Pardon?
Yes, so what have you been working on? Have you gotten any progress on anything or?
Yes, actually, I'm working on the receipts. The video that Patrick has for receipts.
Yes.
Man. Reading the notes on it is very interesting. Because people put
And-
comments in and it goes further on. He actually has a template for the receipts to take them to court and to mail them out to the state and the government and everything, where you get your money.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go that route as soon as I can.
I'm gonna
But
dive I'm gonna dive head first into the Patrick Devine stuff right after New Year, because January, February, that's when we have a lot more time. I don't have to go out and work. So I'm gonna start from zero and go all the way and go through all that Patrick Devine stuff and implement it.
One thing he does say in the one video with the receipts where he does it with the government instead of the IRS, there's a template for the IRS. You send your receipts to the IRS. I do have the template for that. That's no problem. It just takes longer. You got to have a stamp. You got to do each receipt separately. But the other one, and it's only penny for penny. With the other receipts, the Treasury Department pays it.
Yeah, as opposed to doing it at the courthouse, like you were mentioning last
So that's
week.
where you go to the courthouse to do the Treasury Department. That's when you become a Treasury agent. And actually, listening to this video, I'm going to go that route first because he strongly recommends you do that first. Now, the 1099s work perfect. You can get it down to a science, which is great. I just haven't had a chance to listen to everything. I've just have so much going on. But I would listen to that one first. If you're going to switch over to that come January, listen to that one first because he gives you a heads up on a lot of things that shorten things up. But he does have a form he made up to use to send to the courts first. So try local courts, state courts, and then you go to federal court if they don't do it. Which I know in Florida, there's no way our state courts are going to do anything. They charge you every time you get near, even sneeze, they charge you. I got a nice $1,000 fine. I'm just loving that right now.
That's because you tried to do something through a state court, the Florida state court.
Yeah, they're not very workable. They don't like people coming in there.
Yeah, they're a part of the business. That's a state. That's the business. That's why the state has the birth certificates and stuff. Federal, we would probably get more results there because that's the only place you could be heard as like
Patrick was saying go to the state courts first, and if they refuse it, I don't remember the form number. You file a form because it's their law. You file this form and file a thing against them. Then you go to federal court.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, hang on to your original birth certificate if it's from Kenya. Hang on to that because it's worth a lot. I just haven't gotten mine yet because I can't seem to get one still. And they steal them down here too, so never a good thing to have problem with.
Yeah, it comes.
And the judges down here are paid off too, so they don't do a whole lot. If you got a judge that doesn't believe in the Constitution of the United States or any true law, you're Scrooged. So that slows you down a lot. You have to deal with stuff like that. They don't work on my schedule. I wish they would.
No matter what, for Florida, it's definitely a big difference, different than New York, because here, a lot of things didn't reopen, and it took them so long. So, the only good thing I would say is it a Republican state, right, Florida? So, like,
Yes.
let's see, I haven't went out dancing like for forever. I can't even remember. I must have been in Colombia when I went out dancing last, because everything's been closed up here in New York. You can't. In a bar. I don't know if they might have reopened them yet. The bars, yes, but
we have, because our bars, we have over 2,000 people a day catching COVID
in Florida.
Yes, and our governor is totally against it. And he's actually trying to hire any people that will not get the vaccine. He wants them to come down here. We need more deaths down here. That's no problem. We got a lot of it. I forgot how many cases we've had. Just people that just got it. Our hospitals aren't open for regular people. If you have a heart attack, you can't go to the hospital down here. You can't go to the hospital for anything right now unless you have COVID.
Yeah, well, they'll label it as COVID anyway. When you died, like all these deaths, how they're dying of a heart attack and they're labeling, oh, well, did he have COVID while he had the heart attack and died? Yes, well, then he died of COVID. You know, I'm not sure if they're still doing that.
So, thanks to my daughter, I learned a lot because she's a nurse. COVID brings on a lot of the symptoms of all this stuff. It brings on heart problems. So COVID does lead up to a lot of this stuff in the first place. So that makes them different. So you can't just blame that. They're labeling everything. They do everything Florida weird. But COVID has a lot of things that it will bring on. That kids, for instance, we have so many children now that died because they can't get a vaccine. But they said the underlying resistance, once they catch it, they don't know what's going to cause. That's why when they say they have a heart attack, they're just labeled as COVID. That's not true, because most of the cases are caused by COVID, cause a person to have a heart attack. Because they explained it out, and I don't remember it. That will turn that light on, please. It leads up to different conditions. They just don't know what it all entails is the problem. And I had my COVID shot, which is going to come back and bite me in the butt pretty soon, I'm sure. When I see my neurologist, he's not going to be too thrilled. There's either die or get the vaccine. So I got the vaccine, and that was
No, wait. Who gave you that? Who gave you that that mandate? You said it's either what or
no,
lose
my
your
daughter.
job.
I have multiple sclerosis. It's a neurological problem, which is my white blood cells attack my nerves. And something like the COVID vaccine or anything like that actually makes your white blood cells stronger. In my case, I need to have them stop working, but I can't, because if I didn't have the COVID vaccine, I would not be alive right now. Because there's no way you can miss anybody around here that has COVID. Because most people come down here and think, oh, they're done. We're not done. We're talking about 2 out of 3 people have COVID here. I don't have it. I know people that don't have it, but I do know people that do have it. If I catch it one time, I'm done. I refuse to give up. I'm not letting it beat me.
Believe me, I've you know what happened to me. Let me just share what happened to me. I was in Colombia when this whole COVID thing happened, right?
Oh, no.
And I was there for about 6 months. I was only planning on staying for about 3 months. Then right when my flight came, the whole planet got locked down. First off, Colombia, there was no flights, no nothing. In other words, all flights were landed. In other words, you couldn't fly out of the country. So, but I'm still healthy in Colombia, no symptoms, no nothing. As soon as I get on the flight coming back, I was sick for a week when I came back to America. They did something in the airplane. I thought that they might have been spraying poison or been spraying because I've never seen this on a flight. A fog was coming out of the ventilation system. Now, in retrospect, it's possible that they were doing this hydrogen peroxide and vinegar mist, because this is what they use in the hospitals. They dry fog the whole hospital, and it kills everything. So maybe that was my body. Maybe that was my body going through a detox or something. But I got sick like drastically, like for a week. When I was in Colombia, I was fine. They just started doing chemtrails in Colombia. And then over here, I got sick. So I might have gotten the COVID from the flight, because I don't even think I washed my hands once. I was so used to eating with my hands, with no gloves, no sanitizer or anything. So now you're touching 200 people, have been touching different things. And then especially when you get back to the States, if you use the bathroom there. So now these germs are getting reintroduced to you. If they're just basic bacterial germs or basic yearly flu, or if it's COVID, so I don't know what, but I believe I got it because I got sick, once, twice, 3 times, but I never got the shot. So I wanted to, I just wanted to show you, Felicity, that, just to finish the thought that I had on that Radiant Clone YouTube channel. There are these videos called Secure Party Creditor classes. They go 1 through 13, and then they're called military classes after that. So just something, I've watched every one of those. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah. So here, let me share it again. So that would be something I would recommend in that channel. They have and there's a delay of when one of us speaks to the other. So we'll just, so I just went over the Secure Party Creditor. Patrick Devine. He's got hundreds of videos of Patrick Devine, So that's another avenue like that you could research, which Lisa's just mentioning. All right. So which direction do you want to take this conversation? Does anybody want to talk about anything?
I was going to say on the video with the 56s and the receipts, you have to have your 56. You have to get your form 56 filled out.
Okay.
Otherwise, the courts won't recognize you.
I remember you mentioning that. Yep. Got it.
So make sure you get that done.
Yep.
I can't think what I was just going to say.
So we have to fill out a form 56 or 456.
No, it's form 56.
Okay, the fiduciary relationship, right?
Yes, you got to have
Okay.
that. They won't recognize you in the federal courts or anything. And you don't do with
Okay.
UCC codes. So don't touch the UCC codes. That will get you in trouble. It's another thing
Okay.
Patrick warns repeatedly. Don't mess with them. They're made to catch people.
Okay. So
So
don't
stay
do
with
anything. So don't do anything UCC, correct?
Correct. Those are meant
Okay.
for the dead people.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now,
For you.
Lisa, let's break that down of like why, because it's like a registry, right? Like a financial registry. The UCC. No, I'm asking Lisa. So what do you think? But why is that the case? Because I've already done a UCC. You're saying Patrick Devine's saying stay away from them because they're trying to catch us.
Yes, he said they're set up for the dead people, the dead world. We're living. We can't deal with that because we're alive. And he said stay away from it because they are arresting people that get it wrong. And I've heard numerous people that's done it and got arrested. Not willing to go to jail for something stupid like that. Sorry.
Have you seen it? Have you seen, Lisa, have you seen the Patrick Devine UCC one that's private?
I saw it, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, he made one. He made his own. He made his own UCC, his own UCC, or actually, I think he called it a financial. I know it said UCC somewhere on that, and I don't know when I came across it, but it was about maybe 5 months ago. I think I might have saved it, but I wouldn't be able to find it right now off the cuff. But it was very interesting. He used all his own verbiage, and it was basically a private, some type of a private or an independent from the UCC. He basically just declared this financing statement, and
he made his own. He didn't use the UCC, but he has all of his own forms. And I have all his own forms. It's just there's a lot of them. He made an awful lot of forms.
Let me intervene with you guys. UCC is, it depends on what you're doing. Just like with the 1099 OIDs. If you don't know what you're doing, you can go to jail.
Yep.
So same thing with the UCC. Non-UCC is living. It's a fact. UCC 1 and the UCC 3 depends on what you're doing. When you do these instruments, a lot of times you have to do a UCC 1 and you have to sign it with the UCC 3 with negotiable instruments because it's private.
Okay.
So it depends on what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you get messed up. You can get very messed up. Just like it goes back to what I just said about the OIDs. I know 2 people that went to jail.
How long?
That OID. I think they did like a year or something like that. Because when you do these OIDs, a lot of people are not doing it correctly. Yep. And especially they leaving out forms. One of them is the 8281. That's very important when you fill it out. Okay. And then when you fill out an OID, you don't fill it out. It's not you that's doing it. That's where people mess it up. You have to fill it out like it's your trust is filling it out. Trust is very important. Trust. Everything is trust. That's why it's very important to have your own trust account. So when you do, haven't you heard of somebody getting a check, a big check, and then they put it in their bank account? And then next thing you know, the money is gone?
Sure.
You know why? You know why? Because it was in a public side bank account. It has to be in a private side bank account.
That's why
It's not,
parents
it's
say start
credit,
your own bank.
because you're dealing with credit. That's what you do. And that's what I'm saying. That's why they say the private and they say the public. So when you're doing those OI, that's why it's good. That's why they say trust, trust, trust. When you get you get your car, trust, put in the trust. And then when you put in the trust, you have your EIN. Your trust. And what you do is you do a ID off of your trust EIN. And then that goes into your trust account. That money. That's how that works. You out of it. You don't want to be a part of that. You want to put it in a private entity. That's how that works. People are messing up with that. Putting you, the dead person in there. They want you to mess up. Oh, you doing it? Oh, you. Okay, got you. All right, here, I'm gonna give you this check. Then right when you cash it, they're gonna come for your tail.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not doing it correctly. You have to do the form right. And if you're doing wrong, some of these forms, some of them is trial and error. But some of these ones, especially when you get money back, you got to know what you're doing. If you don't, keep doing your research. But there's a lot of things you can read. Like I said earlier, there's some things that has to be taught.
Yes.
Some things got to be taught. This is how you do it. Okay, I see you're knowledgeable, but here, this is how you got to do this. Same thing with the GSA bonds. You know how to do those. Those are real good. And why people go to jail and stuff, because they're forging your name and all that on a bond. And when you have your own bond and paperwork, it closes the case out. It closes the case out. You have your own bond. When you get those GSA bonds, you can even put your liens to the bond, and it'll go away. Bond, everything's about trust, bond. When you go to court, it's a bank. It's just like what is that? The USPS. It's the mail system. It's all banking. All this stuff is have to do with money. That's what it is. It's crazy. It's just money. It's money. They willing and dealing. When you go to court, willing and dealing, they making money off of you. All the times you be in jail, it's money. That's what it is. That's what it's about. It's about money. But you go up in there with your own bond, trust, best believe, try it. Well, I don't want you to try it because I don't want nobody getting in trouble for nothing. For them to try it. But that's the problem. They don't come with their own stuff. So what they do is they have their own, they forge your name and give you your own bond. And that's where you mess up. You have your own bond, you go up in there. All it is when you get your bond, you're paying for it. You're paying for it. You're paying for the case. Now, if this murder and all that stuff, I can't. That's out of the league there. Murdering and doing all that stuff, nobody can help you with that. But if it's like tickets and like little side stuff, they try to put you in jail, little side stuff. The bonds, do those GSA bonds. There's a few of them out there. I think it's the 1414, the GSA 90, Form 90, 91. And you can move those liens where these contracts that we got with these car payments and these mortgages and stuff like that. You can move that to the bonds, to the GSA bonds. You move those liens over there, and that'll take care of it.
You should listen to one video that it's 3 hours and 28 minutes. It starts out with a lady that actually was in jail. She didn't want to talk about her situation, but she actually said how to go out there, get the court. She took her money and isolated it so they could not get any more money out of her. And then the one guy comes on after they're talking. He starts talking about the OID form. Did you ever talk about? Yep. He actually knew how to do it. He met someone that actually knew how to do it. And this guy's a truck driver. I'll tell you, the smartest person I've ever heard on here, other than Patrick, of course.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's smart cookie.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. There's different forms you can use, even the 4506T, the 3949. Use that too in a court. It's done. It's over.
Yeah, you haven't tried it here. They don't
Yeah,
accept
done and
things like
over.
that. They just take them
There's
away from
different.
them.
There's so much different paperwork in this process. So many different angles you can go.
Yeah, that's
Some
what he
people
was saying
just don't
too.
know. People just don't know, and some people do know. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's just the point of just knowing, just having knowledge is the key. So when you get wrapped up in something, you know exactly what to do. I know somebody that did a 1090, what was it, a 1040T? I think it was a 1041, 1040T, something, I think.
1041T?
1041T. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
1041T, and gave it to the courts. And that person got out of jail just off of that form.
Really?
Yep.
We can't do that in Florida.
Yep.
It doesn't work down here.
1041T.
That really sucks.
A 1041T.
Yeah, that's why I was asking online if anybody done the receipts or gone to the courts. Nobody's answered me yet. I haven't got a response back. But
Yeah.
seems to be a little bit, Florida seems to be the biggest pain in the butt in the world to get anything done because they don't believe in any of this stuff. The judges will not do any of this stuff no matter what you give them. Give them a Form 56, they look at you like you're crazy. They don't acknowledge any of this stuff.
Yeah, I don't. You got to stand your ground. Some of them, you got to stand your ground. You got to eat. You know, because it's the way you do it. It's all private.
Yep.
It's all private. It's the way you do it. If it's not meant for everybody to know, that's why I was telling a couple of my buddies. You know, they were like, "Yeah, I'm sick and tired of this," and you know these people. And I'm like this. Some of these, even on the teller level, they don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
If they knew this, they will quit.
It's funny though. So the judges here actually know what this stuff is, and they laugh at you and smile, and they just take your stuff and they will not give it back to you when you hand it to them. But they won't do anything with it either. So you know darn well they're charging your account.
They are exactly. They are. They making so much money off of us.
Yeah, I got the DMV. They took my forms. They were supposed to give them back. They didn't because they said they didn't recognize them. But when the guy came back, he looked at me, started laughing. He says, "Well, they're criminal." I said, "No, they're not." Well, I got to keep those for evidence. That's bullshit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. This is very dangerous. Very dangerous. But I knew somebody that leaned a judge because he was tripping. Just like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He leaned that sucker. You gotta watch it with that.
Yeah, that's why I said the one video that's 3 hours and 28 minutes of Patrick's, and I don't remember which number it was. But
I know which one you're talking about.
Okay, she talks about using different forms to get the money locked out so they can't do it. I need to do that, but there's so many things you need to do for all of this. I got the Form 56 down to a science now. Because the Form 56 Patrick talks about.
The 56 is pretty easy.
The one he talks about is an older form. It's not the same form that we have now.
Right.
So you have to tweak it, of course. But just
I have Patrick Divine 56, the one he got. I have every single document he had wrote.
Yeah, I have them in my phone.
I have all that on the drive.
I got them in my phone.
I have so many. I have so many documents. It's ridiculous.
How do you keep track of them?
It's nobody. Yeah, I have so many because you know, for me to get this knowledge, I had to go through a lot of ups and downs. I had to go through a lot of people jipping me of my money.
I got people I'm trying to help.
Then
I can't show them anything on my phone. I don't remember anymore is a problem.
Yeah. I mean, because people are searching and they're searching, and then people say this and say that and put a pretty picture up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna help you do this. And then when they take your $800 to $1,000, then it's like, well, here you go. Just let's look at this video. And it's like, man, this is all the other videos that everybody else have. And Patrick Divine, you got Patrick Divine documents, you got this and that, and people making a quick buck. But I'm saying it like this: if you have your accounts, why even ask for that type of donation?
Yeah, that's what I would say too. I said,
that's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand. If I had all my accounts, I mean, of course, I put in my blood and my work in it. But why would I have one of my sisters? She do hers. She's very knowledgeable of a lot of this stuff. And you know what? She do her little group. You know how much she charge?
No.
$20.
How much?
$20.
Oh.
Just 20. Tell you how to do the OIDs. I'm break it down. I mean the whole shebang. Tell you how to write it, how to do this with the $20. That makes sense. Why are people charging $800 to $1,000 for this stuff? Yeah, I understand you put the work in. You don't think we put the work in?
Yes,
I mean,
we do.
yes. But
it's a lot of work.
Why all that money though? Why? If I have all these millions and trillions in the bank, why would I charge you $1,000?
Yeah.
Why would I charge you 800? Why would I charge you?
I ran into somebody at Radiant Clone when I first got into it, and they were trying to charge me $400 for Patrick's documents. I told the guy, asked him, I says, I can't afford it. I have no money. I said, I can't afford it. I said, can I make payments or something? And after a few months, he finally gave up. He said, oh, here they go.
Man.
It's like, that was
oh my goodness. Wait a minute. When are we going private? There's some stuff I want to say.
I got the, yeah,
I can't say it, man. It be killing me. This is killing me. I just can't say it. Like it's like I'm choking, I'm dying like slowly. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my God, I got so much info and it's ridiculous.
No, I know. So yeah, well, as soon as the ladies are, are done, then we can go private, because King Don and I are members of a private group. Lisa, did you ever get an invitation to the private group?
No, I didn't get one.
Oh no, okay, I can send it to you. What's your email?
It's Lisa Collins 142@gmail.com.
Give me 1 second. Okay, Lisa Collins, what?
Lisa Collins 142@gmail.
Okay. I'll get that to you. You just follow these suggestions. I follow the instructions and follow the suggestions. Let me see. Felicity, did I send you one out, or did you ever get an invitation to a private group?
I would have to double check, but if you could resend it, I'd appreciate it.
You have the Felicity something, right? Felicity email?
FelicityLive1@gmail.com.
Good one.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll cut it then. Now it's 10 o'clock. That's 2 hours. Felicity, do you want to talk about anything else that you want to shoot?
No.
No? Okay. So you have many different ways to go if you're just starting. I know you got the trust, but I'm not sure how long have you been kind of even in the arena of the secure party creditor or status correction arena.
Well, I'd have to talk to you more about it, about exactly what I do and what I'm into, but I've been researching it for a while.
Okay.
I'm a notary, actually.
Okay.
That's
now, that's major. That's major, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We should all know notaries.
I definitely want to be one. I also want to be a process server. And by the way, King, the guy I'm mentioning that's a member of the group, he's a process server. So I'm gonna have him process serve these, me, how I'm different. Like, I'll tell you one thing: the only way you're gonna get respect in your town is if you take offensive. And you can with certain documents. I'm getting documents, and I'm getting them process served to the sheriff personally, not only at his office, at his home residence. I know how to find out. I'm serious. That's the only way to, and I want his cell phone number. Like, hey, your guys are over here, so refresh their memory on who they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Oh, you might not even know, Felicity. I gave a deputy sheriff a violation of $7.3 trillion about 3 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have, the ticket book is not even ready yet. It was just a draft, but it's no problem. I was just able to give it to him because I was going to try and bail somebody out of jail. I was trying to figure out how to bail people out of jail, and just to make a little pocket change until we get, like say our big funds and such. But that's it. Somebody's texting me over here. Okay. All right, so Lisa, you want to talk about anything else, or we're gonna end this then?
If somebody else would like to get onto this, the receipts, if Felicity wanted to help out,
It's definitely on my to-do list.
My state is different than other states. You cannot do what you're talking about. You'll be arrested in Florida. Our government made it where it's legal for the cops to shoot you if they don't want to see you.
No, could you repeat that statement? What'd you say now? The cops are they shoot you if what?
One officer, something. Forget what you said. You said you wrote a ticket for something that so much money.
Not a ticket. I wrote a violation.
Okay, in Florida, you would be arrested if you weren't shot and killed. You'd be happy.
Okay. Well, we'll see about that.
That's why I said it's different.
I got you. Well, my whole thing is I want to get to a point where I can live a life, and I don't have to worry about somebody coming onto my property, putting my head down to the ground, stepping on me with their boots, and toying with us. And the only way is to develop community. You got to know who your neighbors are, and it's on a grass, like a community level. At the end of the day, nothing works if you don't have the support of a team of community oriented people. Because if the thing that we were talking about earlier, it happens where they're going to do this whole thing and prices skyrocket, because it may happen very soon. If
it's already in Florida, the prices have gone up.
Yeah, fuel has food as well.
Yes, actually, in poor neighborhoods they consider poor, you can't get food.
I was
telling people where to go. It's interesting here, to say the least. I tell them to go to the wealth areas. I tell them different places they go get food, because you can't buy food in a lot of places here in Florida now. You got to be in choice area or a very expensive area.
Got it. So yeah, I mean, because we've been enjoying too much of this. How they lifted all the bans. Whatever happened, like early summer or maybe like May, June or something, and then now we're due for something big. So that we wouldn't even be surprised if there's some kind of a false flag or something. But and then next year, based on the astrology, it's going to be very, very interesting. Next year is going to be very interesting. I would say that things are going to be like really similar to and even worse than last year, with all the the city riots and stuff, where they had the like the groups and stuff taking over these cities and stuff. Is probably going to get worse next year. All right. So you've heard the emails. Lisa heard Felicity's email, and if you guys want, you could do private, like send them to each other now, and you guys can communicate if you wanted to build with Lisa, Felicity on those receipts. All right. So then I'm gonna call it a night. Then we didn't really. We touched on a couple of different things. So thank you very much. And this month of November, for me, I'm going to be busy, but I do have people. I met 2 secure party creditors in the flesh, and I have never done that. So one person came, visited me, and then another person in our county reached out to me. He's doing some big stuff with America First, basically, with the generals and like the the oath keepers and stuff. They're doing these almost like what they did in like throughout the states with Sasha Stone. They were having some rallies and stuff. These people are called We the People. Oh no, America First, not We the People. America First, and they have this movement. So I really haven't researched too much exactly what they do, but I'm sure they have a website, America First. And there was a member there. We went out to visit, and he gave us a tour of the whole warehouse. They were doing like floats and banners and stuff like that. I'm sure that's going to be big when the weather gets warmer next year. But all right.
Okay.
So have a good night, and keep like persistent, and we'll keep moving forward on this. I'm not going to get much done in the month of November, but I'm going to start up in December again, just because I'm going into survival mode. It's my only time where I can make my money, for with my roofing business, to get me through like the whole winter. And sometimes I don't have to work again for 6 months, because I make money right now. And by that time, hopefully we can get some kind of coming from this paperwork and such, maybe with the receipts or with other stuff.
Okay, that'll
All
work.
So thank you very much, guys. Felicity, have a great night. Lisa, have a good night. King, I'm gonna stop the live stream on YouTube now. So good night, and King, stick around. Have a great night, ladies. I'll get those invitations out to you.
Thank you.
Okay, Felicity, email me.
Yes.
Because I don't have a pen and paper. Right now.
What's your email?
Lisa Collins, 142 @gmail.
Okay, all right, no problem.
We can get this knocked out probably in a week or less, hopefully.
Okay, okay.
And we'll get money.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Bye.